In this video, I'll be talking about how I went from this to this using AI. Hey everybody, it's Adrian from Zensis Toys. So lately I've been working on a miniature mechanical arcade cabinet based on the Vector Classic Battlezone. If you're not familiar with it, Battlezone was a really cool futuristic tank battle game that used vector graphics, and it's still gorgeous to this day. You steer it using tank steering, so you push and pull two levers, and that's what my version does. There's a cool mechanical gimmick where you push and pull these two levers, and the background rotates in the opposite direction. But in this video, what I want to talk about is specifically how I made the side decals for the cabinet using open source tools and AI. So let's get to it. Here we are in FreeCAD with the shape I want to make a sticker for. The first thing we'll need is to get this shape into a format we can use in an image editing program. To do that, I'll be using the TechDraw workbench. I open that up and create a page with Insert Default Page. Then I switch back to the main view to make sure that I have the part selected and that we're viewing it from the angle we want to capture, in this case, the left side. I then go back to the page I created and use Insert View to add the shape to the page. That's most of it, but I also adjust the position of the result so it's not overlapping anything. You'll also want to make sure that you have the scale set to 1 to make sure our sticker is the same size as the part. Now I was ready to export the image. That works just like exporting an STL. Just select the page and go to File, Export. Just be sure to save as an SVG instead of an STL. Next, I open the result in Inkscape and deleted all the parts I didn't want. The shape of the side panel also had an extra line, so I ungrouped the shape, deleted the line, and regrouped the result. Now I needed some art to fill the panel with. For that, I turned to Midjourney. There are a lot of options out there for AI-based image generation, but I really like the results I get with Midjourney, so that's what I went with. I started with prompts that mention an arcade cabinet directly, but I found that the results tended to be drawings of an arcade cabinet rather than art for an arcade cabinet. Next, I tried asking for panel art for an arcade game, as well as changing the aspect ratio to be 1:2 to get a tall image, more appropriate for the side panels. This was starting to show some promise for sure, but I kept trying. As is often the case with Midjourney, adding more to the prompt led to better results. I ended up going with promotional art for a futuristic tank battle game, 1980s sci-fi retro-futuristic, glowing green lines, lasers, aspect ratio 1:2. And I loved the results that gave me. All four were great. I ended up upscaling all of them and taking that as my starting point. With some awesome AI-generated art in hand, I headed back to Inkscape. I started by importing one of the images and scaling it to be approximately the size of the side panel. Next, I created a shape that was a slightly smaller version of the side panel shape in order to provide a bit of a buffer. I set the new shape to have no stroke and a transparent fill, and moved the imported image underneath it. This allowed me to move and scale the image to adjust which parts would be on the sticker. Once I was happy with that, I selected first the image, then the smaller shape, and used Object Clip Set Clip to trim it down. I then duplicated the result and flipped it horizontally to give me a set of sticker images. I also wanted a sticker for the top front panel, so I needed to measure that. This is harder because it's at a weird angle, but easier because it's a simple rectangular shape. Instead of using TechDraw, I just created a new sketch on the face that I wanted a sticker for, and used the external geometry tool to add the edges of the face to the sketch. I then added horizontal and vertical constraints to the edges, which is one way to measure their length. That let me know that the face was 10 millimeters tall and 38 millimeters wide. With that, I could go back to Inkscape and create a rectangle to those dimensions. From there, it was the same process as for the side panel. Create a slightly smaller shape, give it a transparent fill, move the image underneath, scale and position it, then finish by using Clip Set Clip. I went ahead and made a second set of stickers with different images, then finished off the sheet by importing the foreground and background display images I had previously made. And there we have it, a nicely stickered up arcade cabinet. So this is pretty much the final version of this. I'll have a video real soon that goes into how I designed the mechanism and how this all fits together. So be sure to subscribe if you're not already, if you want to see that. Also, if you'd like to get the files, this is going to be part of a Kickstarter campaign of 1/18 scale arcade stuff. It's going to have this, it's going to have our pool table, our air hockey table, a foosball table, a pinball machine, a bunch of other stuff that's coming, all with genuine play features. Just like this has the steering, our pinball machine has working flippers, etc., etc. So if that's something that you think you'd be interested in, please do make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out when the campaign goes live. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.